onye isi ala ndị Nigeria wu Tinubu agala for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ka ọ ga hụ Mazi Nnamdi Kanu na n'ime nga ebe ha tiri ya n'ime ebe ha kpọgidere ya mana ka ọ gara ka ọ hụ ya Mazi Nnamdi Kanu awụọ ya n'ala ya sị na ọ chọghị ịhụ ya. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wụrụ onye isi ala n'ala na ọ chọghị ịhụ ya. So it means that the man Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spirit ya the very high, or chose he doesn't care about Mvea, he don't care about Biafra now. And don't know that now. And there are so many offers. And when you are maybe and the road today can be the new offer. Can we can happen Biafra, but as normal person. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu jurajo that no ga happen Biafra. No na ha chere popete, ha ga popete with Biafra. Ha ga popete without Biafra. So and him this thing Otela this time around this thing and they keep the Mazi recently. So they went again. Kahaga nkwe Mazi Nnamdi Kanu won halala. So now all my haja bazi kata na agare kahaga hu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu not because of the America abatala, UK abatala, in fact all nation abatago na-ekwu masra Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and basra Biafra. So that is why haja agbare the Nigeria government ja agbare na each solution in ha game. But ha try up there with Biafra just like he requested, because which they don't want to disclose. Actually he disclose he help and keep it maza. You really have promised and keep it maza. They don't want to disclose it. So but in everything, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu rejected all those offers. N'ekwu ihe ọ chọrọ Biafra. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kwere say that na ọ chọrọ ka onye ọbụla na-ebeg Nigeria government ka release ya, because you want to wear his spirit the high, because you want to wear na apụta ọ chọrọ ịpụta with Biafra. You understand? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu spirit the high. And the thing there is that Abraham no be share all those things, so how be a document near mmadụ ekwere that na ọ chọrọ ịhapụ ihe ọ na-eme agitation ọ na-eme gị were document, prepare your document. Before you prepare document, the person kwesịrị ime accept ihe n'obịara. But maybe accept, they just prepare all those documents in order for him to sign that now he will never come out and talk about Biafra again. That is why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ekwechere. And my yard now this is serious now for this for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because of that now United Kingdom 18 July 7th. Kahabia Nocha Ibe happy Mazi Nnamdi Kanu July 7th. No, this is the reason how now about this thing, because Hachorema or the keep and the law they use, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said they should show him the law. So now they want to know Hachorema the kind of law Omoto show you. See Omoto show so this is why the Nigeria now was a katakata now guys now means of Otageshi make peace with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You cannot make peace with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu without his request. It's not possible. You cannot do such. So and the ECOWAS apatakwa see now before the UK ima all this why ECOWAS ihe gbasara Biafra ihe gbasara Mazi Nnamdi Kanu they don't talk about it, but immediately the UK bịa say July is their own date. The ECOWAS apata say na ha ga-epu ụzọ before the UK abịa na ha ga-epu ụzọ bịa nyocha hụ gbasara ikpe ekpere Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which their own date all this so ọ ga ha ga-eme ya faster before the UK abịa. So all these things will reason ha ji na-agbagharị ihe a, but ha na-agbagharị ihe ha na-agbagharị ihe ha na-agbagharị otu ha ga-esi nye ya ego akeme ya nye ego ka o nwee ike kwere na ihe ha kwuru, because ị gaala mbụ gaa abụọ gaa atọ gaa ise gaa 100 times but mgbe a na-atụbeghị ya nga mgbe na DSS ya ajụ na agba. Do you think that mkpụrụ ụlọ chọrọ ịkụ na ọ ga-amịta? Ọ ga-amịta as long as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the concern. Unu feel that na all Igbos are the same. Otu na-eshi ekwu that na ndị Igbo inye ha ala ha ego ha forget about you have gotten them, but Mazi Nnamdi Kanu prove that na that thing na-ekwu gbasara ndị Igbo wee okwu asị. So ihe na-eme, people are just wasting you guys time. Just near West time, because this man for a man he loses his parents because of this struggle. For a man he happened his family because of this struggle for how many years? Do you think that is going to be possible? It's not going to be possible. So the Nigerian Nigeria again with option. He will option again. No other option than to let this man go. Let Biafra go. Let Mazi Nnamdi Kanu go. Because news in the this news we are circulating, federal government, the Nigeria government against this part. So all our individuals when they will tell you this news now what is going on. Just more watch this video.
Last night, something happened that could completely reshape everything we thought we knew about this case, and I need you to understand something right now. Within the next 72 hours, decisions are being made that will either vindicate everything Nnamdi Kanu has stood for or trap him in a cage he may never escape. The clock isn't just ticking, it's screaming, and what I'm about to reveal has been deliberately kept from mainstream attention because certain people don't want you connecting these dots. But we're going to connect them anyway, right here, right now, before it's too late. Here's what they don't want circulating. Multiple sources from inside circles close to the situation are reporting that representatives connected to the APC, allegedly with direct links to the presidency, have opened what they are calling informal dialogue channels with Nnamdi Kanu. Not through his lawyers. Not through official court channels. Through back channels, the kind of conversations that happen in rooms without cameras, where deals get shaped before the public ever hears a whisper. And the terms being floated. They're not what you'd expect from a government claiming they have a solid case. They're the kind of terms you offer when you're desperate to make a problem disappear before it explodes in your face. If you're new here and you care about truth, about understanding what's actually happening behind the political theater, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications because what unfolds over the next few days won't wait for you to catch up, and I promise you won't hear this depth of analysis anywhere else. This isn't surface level reporting, this is what happens when you follow the patterns nobody wants you to see. So what exactly are these alleged terms? According to statements emerging from those who have direct communication with Kanu, the proposal centers on what's being packaged as a conditional release, a phrase that sounds generous until you understand what it actually demands. The conditions reportedly include requiring Kanu to make public statements denouncing the Biafra movement, accepting elements of the charges that led to his detention, and potentially admitting culpability for actions that could legally cement his guilt before the appeals court even hears his case. Let that sink in. They want him to confess to crimes he maintains he never committed, just to walk free under terms that could be revoked the moment political winds shift. And here's where Kanu's response cuts through all the noise like a blade. Sahara Reporters, which has maintained closer access to developments around this case than almost any outlet, published his position, and I want you to hear these exact words because they matter. Nobody should beg the Nigerian government for my release because I committed no crime. Read between those lines. This isn't just defiance, this is strategic legal positioning. This is a man who understands that accepting a political favor disguised as mercy is the same as signing away every legal advantage he's built, every ground he's gained, every international eye he's attracted to the injustice of his detention. A political settlement can be undone with a signature. A Supreme Court vindication cannot. Think about the psychological warfare at play here. They are dangling freedom in front of someone who's been locked away, betting that desperation will override strategy, that exhaustion will break principle. It's the same tactic used throughout history when power structures realize they are losing the narrative. They offer conditional mercy, not because they are merciful, but because an admission of guilt is worth more to them than a conviction they are no longer certain they can defend. If Kanu accepts those terms, he doesn't just lose his legal case, he loses the moral high ground, he fractures the movement, and he hands his opponents the propaganda victory they've been craving since the day they rearrested him. Now pause with me for a second because I need to hear from you. Do you think Kanu is making the right call by refusing this so-called settlement, or do you think he should take whatever freedom they are offering and fight another day? Drop yes in the comments if you think he's absolutely right to refuse, or no if you think the risk isn't worth it. Your voice matters here because this community is built on real conversation, not echo chambers, so let me see where you stand on this. But here's where it gets even more interesting, and why this week specifically could become a turning point. There's been a surge in international attention that's impossible to ignore, and it's not coming from the usual places. Reports surfaced earlier this month suggesting that Australia has extended what's being described as humanitarian consideration to individuals identifying as Biafra nationals, facilitated through what sources call diplomatic engagement. A statement dated February 13, 2026, explicitly expressed gratitude to Australian authorities for what was framed as recognition and protection efforts. Whether this represents formal policy or symbolic gestures, the psychological impact is undeniable. It signals that international actors are watching, that this case has transcended Nigerian borders, and that the narrative being controlled domestically doesn't hold the same power globally. You have to understand what this does strategically. Every international statement, every foreign acknowledgement, every diaspora mobilization adds pressure that domestic political calculations can't ignore. Governments care about international reputation, about foreign relations, about how they are perceived on the world stage. When international bodies start paying attention, when foreign governments begin making statements, when diaspora communities organize at scale, the cost-benefit analysis changes. Suddenly, the quiet backroom deal becomes harder to justify. Suddenly, the optics of holding someone indefinitely on charges that won't stand up to international scrutiny become politically expensive. And that's exactly why you need to make sure you're subscribed and that bell icon is activated right now, because I'm telling you, this week, possibly within the next 48 to 72 hours, we are expecting major movement. Whether it's statements from legal teams, development in the appeals process, or responses from government officials trying to control the narrative before it spirals further out of their grasp, something is coming. Don't be the person who hears about it 3 days late through fragmented social media rumors. Be the person who sees it unfold in real time with full context. Hit that bell right now while you're thinking about it. Before we close, there's a critical piece of this puzzle that we've already covered in detail on this channel that you absolutely need to see: investigative findings involving alleged international elements connected to the case, including claims about Israeli involvement and African Union inquiries into the judicial process itself. That video is live right now, titled Breaking: Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Justice Omotosho in Trouble as African Union probes Kanu life sentence. It's waiting for you on the channel homepage, and the moment I finish speaking, that video is going to pop up directly on your screen. When it does, don't scroll past it, tap it immediately and watch the full breakdown because you can't fully understand the pressure being applied without seeing both angles. The full picture only comes together when you connect these pieces. This isn't just a legal case anymore. This is a test of whether principle can outlast political pressure, whether a movement can survive attempts to decapitate its leadership through coercion disguised as compromise, and whether international attention can actually translate into accountability.